The story of Pooh Shiesty's legal battles has been far from over, and right now, the feds are making it very clear they are not ready to let him walk free. While the world has watched his meteoric rise in the rap game, earning millions and stacking clout, behind the flashy jewelry and chart-topping hits lies a tangled web of legal trouble that continues to haunt him. Fans were shocked when he first got arrested, but now, months later, the question on everyone's mind is, why are the authorities still pushing so hard to keep him behind bars? What's really going on inside the courtroom? And what do the prosecutors know that the public doesn't? This isn't just another celebrity arrest story. The feds have deep, undisclosed reasons for wanting Pooh Shiesty locked up, and it goes far beyond the headlines we see on social media. There are documents, witnesses, and alleged connections that could have serious implications for him and potentially others tied to his name. While some of his supporters argue that he's being unfairly targeted, the legal system seems relentless, and every hearing, every motion, and every piece of evidence seems to build a bigger case against him. And here's the kicker. The stakes aren't just legal, they are personal. Pooh Shiesty's career, his reputation, and even the freedom of those around him hang in the balance. Every move he makes, every lawyer he hires, every decision in court could change the trajectory of his life forever. For fans who followed his rise from Memphis streets to rap stardom, this is a shocking and eye-opening look at what fame and controversy can bring. So, in this video, we're breaking it all down. The court filings, the alleged ties to other cases, the feds' reasoning, and the drama behind the scenes that most people don't see. We're talking about why the authorities believe this case is far from closed and what it means for Pooh Shiesty moving forward. Stay tuned, because by the end of this story, you'll see why the feds are doubling down, why they won't let this go, and why Pooh Shiesty's future could hang in the balance like never before. The real story is darker, deeper, and more complicated than anyone could imagine, and it's all coming right now. From the very beginning, Pooh Shiesty's rise in the rap game was meteoric, but it was never without controversy. Born Lontrell Williams in Memphis, Tennessee, he quickly became a force to be reckoned with in the streets and in music. Fans remember the energy he brought to every track, the authenticity in his storytelling, and the raw charisma that made him a standout in the hip-hop world. But behind the glittering jewelry, expensive cars, and sold-out shows was a life constantly walking a fine line between fame and legal trouble. Early encounters with the law had already placed him on the radar of federal authorities, and despite his chart-topping hits, the feds were watching. What started as street-level scrutiny evolved into something far more serious. A series of investigations that would eventually become a full-blown legal storm threatening to derail his entire career. The charges that first brought Pooh Shiesty to national attention were just the tip of the iceberg. Reports from Memphis and surrounding jurisdictions painted a picture of someone heavily involved in activities the authorities considered organized and highly illegal. While mainstream media often framed it as a celebrity gone astray, insiders in law enforcement and the courts hinted at something more complicated. Federal prosecutors weren't just looking at one incident, they were looking at a pattern. This pattern, they argued, demonstrated repeated behavior that crossed state lines, involved multiple alleged accomplices, and potentially violated federal statutes that carry much harsher penalties than state-level offenses. To them, it wasn't enough to just arrest him once. They wanted to make sure that if Shiesty was going to be free again, he would not slip through the cracks of the justice system. For fans, it's easy to see this as another example of the system versus the artist, a narrative that plays out again and again in hip-hop. But when you dig deeper into the filings, motions, and court documents, the Fed's case starts to make a different kind of sense. Witnesses, some of whom are rumored to be former associates, have allegedly provided statements tying Shiesty to events and networks that extend far beyond what most people know. The prosecutors argue that these connections could pose ongoing risks if he were released. This is part of the reason why every bail hearing, every motion to reduce charges, and every legal maneuver has been met with skepticism from the court. It's not just about one incident. It's about a constellation of potential criminal activity that federal authorities insist is far from resolved. At the same time, the personal toll on Shiesty is impossible to ignore. Even for someone accustomed to the spotlight, The pressures of facing a federal case are immense. He has reportedly spent countless hours with his legal team strategizing how to defend himself, while simultaneously trying to maintain his music career and public image. Social media amplifies every move, every statement, every rumor, turning it into a spectacle. For many fans, this drama is entertainment. For Shiesty, it's a fight for freedom, reputation, and survival. Every song he drops, every interview he gives, and every courtroom appearance is under scrutiny, magnifying the stakes in ways that go far beyond what the average person experiences when facing legal trouble. But the reality is, the feds have resources and determination that are nearly unmatched. They've gathered evidence, interviewed witnesses, and pieced together alleged activities that paint a narrative of continued involvement in things they deem highly illegal. While some in the public see him as a victim of circumstance or as a young artist targeted unfairly, federal prosecutors see someone whose alleged past and present connections could make him a flight risk or a repeat offender if released. And this tension, the clash between the court's caution and the public's curiosity, is what makes this story so compelling. It's not just about the law. It's about fame, influence, and the complicated dance between the streets, the music industry, and the justice system. And as we move forward in this story, the deeper we go, the clearer it becomes why the feds are still so adamant about keeping Pooh Shiesty locked up. Part of what makes Pooh Shiesty's case so intense is the federal angle itself. Federal cases aren't like state cases. They carry higher stakes, stricter procedures, and longer sentences. Once the feds decide to get involved, it's rarely a short legal battle. In Shiesty's situation, authorities argue that his alleged actions aren't isolated. They are part of a network that could stretch across state lines, involving multiple alleged participants in serious criminal activity. This is what makes his case so complex and why prosecutors have been adamant about keeping him behind. Unlike typical celebrity arrests that get media attention and fade away, a federal case digs into patterns, connections, and influence, painting a picture that the feds believe justifies their caution. For Shiesty, it's a situation where every move he makes is under a microscope, every statement analyzed, and every decision could influence the trajectory of his future. The courtroom drama surrounding Shiesty has been relentless. Each hearing, each motion, and each update adds more pressure to an already tense situation. His legal team is tasked with not only defending him against specific charges, but also challenging the very reasoning behind the feds' insistence on holding him. Bail hearings become battlegrounds for narrative as much as legality, with arguments about character, risk of flight, and potential for continued criminal involvement dominating proceedings. Meanwhile, social media amplifies every rumor, every court filing, and every insider leak, creating an almost circus-like environment that complicates the reality of the case. It's a constant juggling act for Shiesty and his team, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy and control while the feds seem determined to prove their point. One of the most intriguing aspects of this case is the alleged network surrounding Shiesty. Prosecutors claim that his connections could facilitate ongoing criminal activity, and they argue that even a temporary release could undermine public safety. While fans debate whether these allegations are exaggerated or accurate, federal authorities aren't taking chances. Witnesses reportedly have painted a detailed picture of alleged associations and events, creating a narrative that the feds are confident will hold up under scrutiny. The stakes are clear. If Shiesty were to be released and then allegedly re-engage in illegal activity, it would validate the feds' concerns and potentially extend his legal troubles even further. This tension between freedom and the perception of risk is central to understanding why the feds remain unwavering. Meanwhile, the personal side of the story cannot be ignored. Behind the headlines and viral clips, Shiesty is still a young man facing the enormity of a federal case. The emotional and mental strain is immense, especially when compounded by public scrutiny. Every comment from fans, every media report, every tweet about the case adds another layer of pressure. He has to navigate this while trying to continue his music career, maintain his public image, and make strategic decisions about his legal defense. It's a delicate balance, and one misstep could have severe consequences. This human element, often overlooked in sensationalized news coverage, shows just how high the stakes are and why the pressure is so intense from every angle. Finally, the broader implications of this case are worth noting. For the rap community, Pooh Shiesty's legal struggles serve as a cautionary tale of how fame, influence, and alleged illegal activity can collide in ways that have long-term consequences. Federal prosecutors aren't just sending a message to him, they're sending a signal to anyone involved in similar networks that the law is watching, and it's serious. This backdrop adds another layer of tension, making every court hearing feel like a headline-making event. Fans, critics, and even fellow artists are paying attention, debating whether justice is being served or whether Shiesty is being targeted because of his public profile. Whatever the truth, the Fed's insistence on keeping him locked up demonstrates the gravity with which they view the case, and it's a battle that isn't going away anytime soon. By this point, it's clear that Pooh Shiesty's situation isn't just a simple case of rapper runs into trouble. The federal authorities' continued focus on him highlights a far more intricate story, one that touches on organized activity, alleged associates, and a web of events that could have serious legal repercussions. Prosecutors have reportedly pieced together a timeline of incidents that they argue demonstrates not just criminal behavior, but a pattern of influence and involvement that extends beyond Memphis. For the feds, this is about more than punishing an individual. It's about dismantling a network and sending a clear message that illegal activity, no matter who is involved, will be pursued relentlessly. Fans may see Shiesty as a young star caught in a whirlwind, but inside the courtroom, the narrative is far more strategic and calculated. One of the most controversial aspects of this case is the alleged involvement of other individuals. Federal authorities are said to have focused on witnesses and connections that link Shiesty to a series of events spanning multiple jurisdictions. While the details of these claims are not fully public, court filings hint at a network of associations that the feds argue cannot be ignored. This is why motions for release or reduced charges have faced resistance. The authorities believe that even temporary freedom could provide opportunities for further alleged illegal activity. It's a situation that has fans divided. Some argue that Shiesty is being unfairly targeted because of his fame and his music, while others see the Fed's caution as justified given the alleged connections. Either way, it adds an intense layer of complexity that goes beyond what most celebrity legal troubles face. The music industry itself adds another layer to the story. Shiesty's fame, earnings, and public influence amplify the stakes, because prosecutors know that his lifestyle and network make him more visible and potentially more dangerous in their eyes. Social media posts, music videos, and interviews, often meant to build his brand, are now examined in the context of legal scrutiny. Every flashy car, every lyric referencing real-life events, and every public appearance can be dissected for evidence or perceived intent. For someone navigating the spotlight, this becomes a high-stakes game where even innocent actions can be misinterpreted. The scrutiny is unrelenting, and the pressure builds not just in courtrooms but in the court of public opinion, where fans and critics alike debate guilt, innocence, and what justice really looks like. Meanwhile, Shiesty's defense team faces a difficult balancing act. On one hand, they must vigorously defend him against federal charges. On the other, they need to maintain a public image that doesn't exacerbate the situation. Attorneys reportedly strategize meticulously, analyzing court documents, negotiating with prosecutors, and preparing for hearings that could make or break the trajectory of the case. Legal maneuvers are not just about the law. They are about controlling perception and protecting Shiesty's future. Every hearing is a test of patience and strategy, and even minor missteps could be magnified into major setbacks. In federal court, where procedures are exacting and penalties can be severe, the stakes could not be higher. Ultimately, the continued federal insistence on keeping Pooh Shiesty locked up send a powerful message. This is a case that authorities take very seriously. It's not just about one artist or one incident. It's about a system that is determined to investigate patterns, hold individuals accountable, and prevent potential future crimes. For fans, this story is shocking and dramatic, a window into the harsh realities that even rising stars can face when legal scrutiny collides with fame. For Shiesty, it's a life-altering situation where each court date, Each motion and each public statement can influence the outcome. As we move deeper into this story, it becomes clear that the Fed's focus is deliberate, unwavering, and built on layers of evidence and strategy that go far beyond the headlines we see online. The stakes have never been higher, and the drama is far from over. As Pooh Shiesty's federal case continues to unfold, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This is not just a legal battle. It's a full-scale test of influence, fame, and accountability. The authorities aren't simply content with a one-time arrest or headline-grabbing mugshot. Instead, they are building a comprehensive picture of Shiesty's alleged activities, connections, and behaviors that could suggest patterns of criminal involvement. Each filing, each report, and each hearing adds another layer to the case, reinforcing the federal argument that this is a situation requiring constant oversight. For Shiesty, every moment outside the courtroom is weighed against a backdrop of suspicion, where even routine actions could be interpreted as evidence or proof of ongoing risk. The alleged network surrounding Shiesty is a critical factor in why the feds remain so cautious. Prosecutors reportedly see links between him and individuals allegedly involved in serious criminal conduct. While the specifics are partially sealed in court documents, insiders suggest that this network is complex, spanning multiple jurisdictions, and potentially involving activities that cross state lines. For federal authorities, this is not merely speculation. It's enough to justify continued detention. The argument is that Shiesty's freedom could provide opportunities for these alleged networks to operate or expand, which would undermine public safety. In short, this is not a case of one artist in trouble. It's a case where the law is acting to prevent what it sees as potential future harm. The courtroom proceedings have been intense and highly publicized, magnified by Shiesty's visibility as a popular rapper. Every hearing is covered in news outlets, every filing dissected on social media, and every rumor debated by fans and commentators. This creates a unique pressure cooker environment. For Shiesty, this means that the stakes are personal and professional simultaneously. A misstep in court could have devastating consequences for his freedom, while a miscalculation in the public sphere could hurt his career. The dual reality of being both a defendant in a federal case and a public figure makes each decision, legal or social, significant, leaving little room for error. Another aspect intensifying the drama is the way prosecutors reportedly interpret Shiesty's music and public persona. While his lyrics are part of his artistry and identity, authorities have in past cases examined public statements, songs, and videos for connections to alleged events. In Shiesty's situation, it's suggested that prosecutors are scrutinizing his lyrics and social media posts for potential implications regarding the federal case. While many argue that this conflates art with real-life actions, in court, such interpretations can influence perceptions of risk, motive, and character. For Shiesty, this adds an entirely new dimension to defending himself, one where personal expression intersects with legal accountability in a high-stakes, high-visibility environment. Finally, the emotional and mental toll cannot be overstated. Even the most seasoned individuals find federal scrutiny overwhelming. But for a young artist in the public eye, the pressure is exponentially higher. Legal strategists reportedly emphasize the importance of managing not only the courtroom proceedings but also the external narrative, understanding that public opinion can sway perception, even if it doesn't directly affect the legal outcome. Shiesty is caught between fighting for his freedom, preserving his career, and navigating a world where fame amplifies every action, mistake, and allegation. This intense environment illustrates why the feds remain resolute in their approach. The combination of alleged past behavior, ongoing risk, and public influence creates a scenario they believe justifies continued detention. The battle is far from over, and the next chapters of this story will determine whether Pooh Shiesty can regain control of his life or whether the weight of federal scrutiny will continue to dominate his path. As the case against Pooh Shiesty reaches its critical stages, the tension surrounding his fate is palpable. Federal authorities have consistently emphasized that this isn't just about past behavior. It's about potential future risk, influence, and the broader implications of his alleged associations. Every motion filed by his legal team is meticulously reviewed, every witness testimony weighed, and every piece of evidence analyzed for patterns that could support continued detention. The feds are painting a picture that they believe demonstrates the possibility of ongoing criminal activity, and in their eyes, Shiesty's release, even temporarily, could undermine the integrity of the case. This is why, despite public pressure and fan support, the authorities have remained unwavering in their insistence that he remains in custody. The public reaction has been intense and polarizing. On one side, loyal fans see Shiesty as a rising star unfairly targeted by the justice system, someone whose success and image have made him a symbol of celebrity versus the law. On the other side, critics argue that the federal focus is warranted, emphasizing that authorities are responsible for preventing potential criminal activity, especially when it allegedly spans multiple regions and involves several individuals. The media amplifies both narratives, turning each hearing and update into viral news. Social media posts dissect his every move, commentators speculate about the case's outcome, and hashtags trend daily, fueling the drama. In this environment, Shiesty isn't just fighting a legal battle. He's navigating a media storm that can influence public perception in ways that directly affect his career and personal life. Inside the courtroom, the legal battle has become a chess match of strategy, persistence, and timing. Shiesty's attorneys work tirelessly to challenge the prosecutor's narrative, questioning witness credibility, seeking to limit the interpretation of his public persona, and arguing that detention may not be necessary. Meanwhile, federal prosecutors counter with detailed arguments highlighting alleged patterns of activity, the severity of the charges, and the perceived risk of releasing him. Each side understands the stakes. This is not only about Shiesty's freedom, but about precedent, public confidence in the legal system, and the message it sends to those who might be involved in similar networks. In these hearings, every argument, every objection, and every ruling carries weight, creating a high-stakes environment that can determine the trajectory of his life. At the center of all this is Shiesty himself, a young artist caught between his ambitions and the consequences of alleged actions. Reports indicate the immense personal toll this legal battle has taken, from sleepless nights strategizing with his attorneys to the constant scrutiny from fans, media, and even rivals. The juxtaposition of pursuing a music career while under federal investigation is extraordinary. It creates an almost cinematic tension between public persona and private struggle. Fans may see the flashy exterior, songs, videos, appearances, but behind the scenes, it's a relentless fight for control, clarity, and survival in a system that is methodical, unyielding, and unforgiving. Ultimately, the story of Pooh Shiesty's federal case is about far more than just an individual rapper. It's about fame, influence, and the complex interplay between public image and legal accountability. The Fed's insistence on keeping him locked up underscores the gravity with which authorities view alleged criminal networks and the potential risk of release. For Shiesty, each court appearance, legal motion, and public interaction contributes to a larger narrative that could define his future for years to come. Fans, critics, and observers are left on edge, watching closely to see whether justice will tilt in his favor, whether the Fed's concerns will be validated, or whether the young artist will remain behind bars as the full weight of federal scrutiny continues to shape his life. The story is intense, ongoing, and far from predictable, and it's a battle that encapsulates the harsh realities of fame colliding with federal authority. The story of Pooh Shiesty is far from over, and what we've uncovered here only scratches the surface of the intense federal scrutiny he's facing. This isn't just a legal battle. It's a high-stakes drama where fame, influence, and alleged networks collide with the full force of the law. Every move he makes now could shape the trajectory of his career and his life, and the Fed's insistence on keeping him locked up shows just how serious they are about this case. Fans, critics, and the entire